This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
The city of St. Louis now closer to cracking down on short-term rentals. Good evening. I'm Brent Solomon. Despite passing a new measure today, many city leaders say this is only the start of the solution. 5 on your side's Holden Kerwicki is live downtown with the very latest on the plan. Holden.
Well, Brent, there are about 1,000 short-term rentals in the city of St. Louis, and they're not going anywhere, at least not anytime soon. However, the city of St. Louis now has the option to police those properties, especially if they continue to be a problem or if their owner fails to get a permit.
It's an issue that city leaders have been working to address for years.
We have no regulations right now. Airbnbs and Verbos are the wild, wild west.
We're going to act like a grown-up city. We need laws that reflect that. And right now it is a wild west.
That's why the Board of Aldermen advanced 2 bills aimed at capping the number of short-term rentals a person can own at 4, set a 2-day minimum, and require the property owner to file for a permit with public hearings, allowing neighbors to weigh in.
If we're talking about noise, that's addressed by this bill. If we're talking about occupancy, that's addressed by this bill. If we're talking about how many cars you can park outside.
However, some city leaders, including Alderwoman Sharon Tyus, who at one point asked to opt the 12th Ward out of the legislation, voiced their concern that it could create more problems than it solves.
I didn't know that short-term rentals to fix the problems where you were having them would create a problem for me. That is not a solution.
The short-term rental industry is really great for bringing residents to neighborhoods that don't have hotels. I think it really is an incredible asset to many of our neighborhoods, including mine.
And let's put this right next door to your house and see how the hell you feel about it, because what's going to happen to you every day when there's 20 guys throwing beer cans over your fence, urinating in the backyard, and having a wild party?
During more than 4 hours of debate, board members admitted they expect legal challenges to the legislation to play out in the courtroom, similar to what Kansas City is currently experiencing.
We can all agree that this legislation is not perfect, that something is better than nothing, and we need something in a big way.
These proposed regulations on short-term rentals still have to pass one more vote by the Board of Aldermen next Friday before they will be sent to Mayor Tashara Jones for consideration. Reporting live in downtown St. Louis, Holden Kerwicki, 5 on your side.
Tonight, a student at Fontbonne University is facing weapons charges after someone found a gun in his dorm room. Prosecutors say 19-year-old Jordan Smith took a loaded weapon onto the school premises, and that's a felony. Police say they found a 9mm under a mattress with a loaded extended magazine. They also found bullets on a desk. A story we're following in the Dominican Republic tonight. Armed robbers broke into the St. Louis Cardinals baseball complex early this morning. Team president John Mozeliak said the burglars stole money, cell phones, jewelry, and baseball equipment. Local authorities are investigating. A shootout leaves 2 people hurt during an attempted carjacking. It happened this morning in Bell Fountain Neighbors. Police say the suspect tried to take a man's car. The suspect and the driver of that car shot at each other. Each suffered non-life-threatening injuries. No other details released just yet. New charges against a man accused of assaulting young boys in St. Louis Hills. Court documents made public today show a grand jury indicted him for allegedly abusing a 3rd boy. 5 on your side's Christine Byers got a reaction from residents. She has the very latest.
A grand jury indicted Haji Gul Asmani this week for an incident that allegedly happened sometime between September 1st and October 31st, 2022. The victim is younger than 12.
How can somebody get away with that so easily?
Residents like Laura Ackerman admire the victim's courage.
It takes a lot of inner strength to come forward, especially if you've been keeping it to yourself for such a long time.
The new charges are in addition to 4 counts Asmani is already facing for allegedly attacking 2 other boys in July. The victims in those cases were 6 and 12 years old. This 3rd victim was allegedly assaulted in the 5300 block of Donovan Avenue, just 2 blocks from the last alleged attack. St. Louis Police Sergeant Charles Wall says the 3rd victim came forward after police released surveillance images like these from private neighborhood cameras.
That victim did come forward around the time that all of this was being publicized. Obviously, it's my understanding of this investigation, because it did go back a longer period of time, that there was some more investigative work that needed to be done on our end.
Asmani has been in solitary confinement since his arrest July 28th.
This is an individual that we know at this point has victimized 3 separate children. So if there's anybody else that has been a victim from the suspect, investigators want to talk to them.
Police are asking anyone with information to contact the Child Abuse Sex Crimes Unit directly at 314-444-5385, or to report anonymously, call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-8477.
Christine Byers reporting for us. Let's get you now to the latest on the war in the Middle East. Today, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is vowing to destroy Hamas. The address comes as the Israeli army prepares for a ground invasion against the ruling Hamas militant group in the Gaza Strip. Hamas is responsible for a terror attack on the Israel area over the weekend. Meanwhile, Palestinians began a mass exodus from northern Gaza after the military told people to evacuate. Many from the United States have been called into battle. One rabbi serving in St. Louis County has family on the front line. 5 on your side's Travis Cummings sat down with him at his synagogue in Creve Coeur.
He literally got back from America and he had to go straight home to get his army suit and just started putting it on.
Rabbi Jeffrey Abraham bittersweetly scrolls through pictures of his brother-in-law suited up for combat in Israel.
He, just like many other Israelis, almost wanted to get the call in a sense, because they want to go and help to defend the country.
Abraham is constantly checking his phone for updates.
We're the ones who are nervous and want him to be safe.
The soldier was just in town for his nephew's bar mitzvah weeks ago, and his honeymoon was also cut short. Now he's fighting alongside Israeli troops as they carry out local raids in Gaza to eliminate the threat against Hamas militants.
He's in a combat unit that's called combat engineers, where their entire jobs is to go out in front of the army and try to make sure there are not minefields and mines that could blow people up.
Not only is Rabbi Abraham helping his own family through this, he's also shepherding the 3,000 people here at the synagogue.
We just put this banner up to show our solidarity and support with our people and the state of Israel.
The Jewish leader says it's easy to fight hate with hate.
What happened this past week in Israel is no different than ISIS or Al-Qaeda, or other terrorist organizations that we all want to get rid of.
His family fights for their lives abroad. He's fighting in his own way here back home.
And how can we unite as a people so that we can hopefully find a way to bring peace not only in Israel, but to the whole world as well.
Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
And Rabbi Abraham says they've been joining other organizations in solidarity this week. They will include special prayers in their services this weekend. For a link to our stories on the Israel-Hamas war, text the word Israel to 314-425-5355.